Hello, my name is Gerardo, and we're doing a podcast on the life of Vincent Chin. Vincent Chin was a Chinese American born on May 18, 1955, in Guangdong Province, China. His parents, Lily Chin, his mother, and David Chin, his father, worked in a small laundry. Then later on, they worked in a Chinese restaurant, and when his father retired, Lily Chin, his mother, took a job at a factory. As an adult, Vincent Chin was an American draftsman, an engineering technician professional who makes detailed technical drawings or plans and computer-aided designs for machinery, buildings, and electronics. Vincent Chen was engaged to Vicky Wong, which he had met 3 years ago, and planned a wedding at the end of June. During the early 1980s, there was a time where there was a deep economic depression when a massive crisis of oil made it difficult for people to drive. In Detroit, where Vincent Chen was at a bar with some close friends, made gas-guzzling automobiles, which led to Americans buying smaller and fuel-efficient cars, and hundreds of many people in Detroit were getting unemployed and losing their homes and jobs, and they blamed it on Japan. Therefore, anyone who looks Japanese would get called offensive racist names and racial hatred. But really, people in Detroit were to blame themselves and take responsibility for their own failed policies, instead of blaming it on Japanese people who had nothing to do with their failed policies. These failed policies mainly affected people who were auto workers who worked in the automobile manufacturing industries, but the Japanese auto manufacturers were growing throughout the U.S. At the bar, Vincent Chen and his close friends were celebrating his upcoming wedding with Vicky Wong, and with an all-American bachelor party. While they were there, a white auto worker, Ronald Evans, blamed and yelled at Vincent for them being unemployed and for Detroit's difficulties. Evans and Evans' stepson, Michael Nitz, began to call Vincent Chin racial slurs, which Tin didn't let slide, and he fought back. They then got kicked out of the bar. Vincent began to run away from them, but Evan and Nitz caught up to Vincent outside of a nearby McDonald's, with Nitz holding Vincent, while Evans beating him over the head with a baseball bat several times. 4 days later, on June 23, 1982, Vincent Chin died. His 400 wedding guests, instead of going to the wedding, went to his funeral. For Vincent's family and other Asian Americans in his community, justice was never served. Months later, the two men, Evans and Nitz, were in a criminal court waiting to receive the punishment of finding guilty of Vincent Chin's slaying. The two were sentenced by Judge Charles Kaufman to 3 years in probation and $3,000 in fines for brutally beating another human being to death, but they both didn't spend a single day in jail. Many people were outraged at the killers getting away with the murder, but Chinese Americans and other Asian Americans were very angry that the hate crime against an Asian American go unpunished. With the injustice, people in the American community in southern eastern Michigan organized a national civil rights movement to reach out to people all across America. Vincent Chin's mother was devastated and stricken with grief after the brutal killing of her only child. When she heard about the killers getting away with the murder, she felt her heart break. The goal was simple, that people of Asian in America should be treated as full human beings with equal justice, fairness, and dignity. The campaign eventually forced the federal government to look for a civil rights trail against the two killers. Lily Chin, Vincent's mother, stood up to all the doubters and proved them wrong. Her courage and willingness of what some people viewed as a Chinese immigrant mother to speak despite her grief. She continues to inspire people to continue to fight for justice. Thank you.